One of the key eureka moments for me happened in 2000. It was the spring of 2000. We started working for MTO in 1997, and it grew very quickly. So just 3 years later, 2000, we bid on the biggest contract admin job that MTO had ever let in their lifetime in the history of the province. And it happened to be the four-laning of Highway 69 from Parry Sound to MacTier.
The Highway 69, like Mike, when the MTO privatized, he jumped in, both feet, not a little bit. We jumped right into this. Thessalon geographically had a number of ex-MTO guys here, and so they were getting laid off or retiring. Mike scooped them up, brought them in, and then along came the Highway 69 job.
The biggest contract administration job in the province at that time. We looked after 3 contracts, 3 different contractors. We had a team of 32 people there, full-time for 3.5 years. We bought a house and it burnt down, and we moved to hotels, and there was just a whole myriad of things. But it was the start of something that we could be very proud of. And I remember when we bid that job, it all boiled down to one number. And I remember this very clearly. I was sitting in my desk at the office, and I tallied up all the sub-trades and the costs, and back then I wasn't even using a computer, and wrote it all out on a one page and added up at the bottom, and it was $7.633 million. And I thought, I'm going to submit that, and if I'm wrong, the business is over. And we submitted it, and about 2 months later, I got a phone call from Wayne Prostansky. Wayne worked for the ministry then as a contracts engineer in North Bay. He's since retired, and he worked for us out of Thunder Bay for several years. I think Wayne's now retired. But he called me to say, Mike, you got the job. And I said, really? And he said, yeah, you got the job. You got a good proposal, good team. We need to get started on a pre-start meeting. And I hung up the phone, and I just sat back in my chair and said, I can't believe this. I can't believe that we got that job. And I sure hope the number's right. And it turned out it was okay.
I know exactly where I was when we got it. Mike called me on the old bag phones, like a little suitcase carrying around in your truck or whatever. But he called me. He says, Gavin, we won MacTier. He was beside himself. And so then we're in the big time now. We're no more a small, medium. We're a big outfit, so.
I tell you, that I had no qualms about that. We're either going to do well or we'd be bankrupt. It was one or the other, and then we just put our head down, and for 4 years we worked on that job. The job was made for us because it involved all new corridor, legal surveys, cutting line through the bush, and we knew from the get-go we wanted that job because we could do it better than anybody else. Now, some of our competitors would think otherwise, and they didn't think we had the experience or the manpower to carry that off. And they may have been right in thinking that, but each one of these guys played a key role in moving that forward, each in their own way, whether it was in AutoCAD work, quantity takeoffs, surveying, monthly assessments, the list goes on. And yet this was a key group of people that by that time, and that was in 2000, when you think about it, it was only 9 years in. We got that job in 2000 and finished it in 2004. 9 years in, we took on a job where we grew very quickly then.
That was the key, I would say. Sprung us ahead, and then that's when we really started to grow. That was a good one.
And so for a small town crew from Thessalon to say, how are we going to manage $100 million worth of construction work was a bit numbing, a bit stunning, a bit mind-boggling, but then we just set our mind to it, and it actually worked out very well. And there was immense gratification on the day that they all opened simultaneously, and that's why the 3 contracts, they switched the highway on one day from the old highway to the new highway. And I was down there and I managed to drive it, and it was very emotional to think, this is what's happened in 4 years. And a lot of those accolades are due to the original team that had each their own discipline, whether it was in AutoCAD, in quantity calculations, in takeoffs, in surveying, legal surveys, or inspectors and contract administrators that we'd hired that were formerly with MDO. Immense gratitude and an emotional time that we could think this is what could be accomplished when we all put our mind to it. That probably that 4-year experience stands out as the kingpin of our years from 1991 to when I retired at the end of 2015.